Pop quiz. Oh, I hate those. Hi, welcome to another episode of Unlocking Mind Behind Make More Work Less. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking Mind, we talk about another kind of bias. And the reason why I have this show is so that we can better understand how our minds work, make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and of course, avoid certain kinds of traps. So for today's kind of bias, we're going to be talking about testing effect. So what exactly is that? That is when our long-term memory is actually increased and becomes better when some of that learning is devoted to retrieving information from our memory banks, which is testing. So when we go back to our school days and we think about those pop quizzes and those exams, which we always hated because we don't like studying for them, in fact, those tests are for our long-term memory's sake. It's for us to retrieve those information better. And how do we better prepare for those? Well, guess what? It's more testing. The thing is, we have to stop looking at testing as an assessment tool. We have to start looking at testing as a learning tool, as a teaching tool. It allows us to develop our memory banks to be a better muscle so that we can actually retrieve information better and also retain information for a longer period of time. The thing is, our minds are not sponges. We can't just read stuff and think that it's going to absorb everything. That is passive learning. And sometimes passive learning is good for a sense, but then we cannot retrieve information or retain as much information as we would if we were actually actively learning. When we're actively learning something, we're right there in the middle of things. We're actually using our hands. We're actually being put into the scenario. We're doing demonstrations. We're doing presentations. We're reteaching it and all that kind of stuff. That is active learning. And another way of active learning is actually self-testing. And the more we test ourselves, the more we test ourselves with challenging stuff, the more we're able to struggle. And then when we struggle, we're actually working that muscle memory even more so that we can learn better, we can improve better. And we can also get that feedback. We can go back and see our test scores to see what we have to improve on, what we need, what we already know. So testing is actually a very, very good tool for us to retain more information and to actually learn and improve for a long-term basis. Now, the testing effect had many experiments. One that was done was with a group of people where one group was told to restudy, reread material over and over again for a test. Another group was told to retest themselves over and over again before a test. And after 6 months, a test was done. And on average, the group that was testing themselves over and over again was able to retain that information longer and also get higher scores, almost 13% higher scores than the group that was just rereading. Again, just passive learning. Another test that was done on the testing effect is duration of when you get tested. So there was 3 groups. One group, all 3 groups was told to do the testing effect and to test themselves over a period of time. And one group was told to retest themselves after 1 day. Another group was told to retest themselves after a week. And another group was told to retest themselves after 1 month. And the thing is, the people who were testing themselves after a day was able to retain that information for a longer period of time than the ones that were testing themselves in a week and also in a month. So the thing is, when we want to better ourselves, when we want to retain better information and also retain information for a longer period of time, we need to self-test ourselves every so often so that we can kind of keep our muscle memory flexing and also testing ourselves a lot. The thing is, when our minds are a muscle and we work that muscle, the more tests we give ourselves, the better we are at taking tests in the future. So we don't have to be afraid when a pop quiz comes in or a test exam comes in. We're actually already flexing that muscle on a consistent basis and we could do better next time. So that is the testing effect. Apply that to your everyday life because it's very important for us to retain better memory and also memory for a longer period of time. And also, if we test ourselves often, we're not surprised when something unexpected comes. So that is the testing effect. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please go back and watch some of my other episodes on Unlocking Mind. And of course, we have a lot of other shows, the Peak Potential Success Show, the Make More Mind Bites, and of course, the Master Mind Bites that's up every single week. Thank you very much for your likes, support, your time, and your comments. I love seeing those comments. Until next time, today is the day to lock your peak potential. I'll see you later.